We're going all in on the life of the great Bob Barker today. We just are.
His full life?
Whole life. Everything about his life we are covering from stem to stern. We'll never forget where I was when I heard about the death of Bob Barker.
Where were you?
Standing next to a pickleball court.
I'm already overselling it.
Talking with my friend the Diesel.
I don't want to oversell it, but there's some side action that there might be tears on Chris Kelly's part today during the Bob Barker segment.
People.
I don't want to say, but there's side action.
Okay. Will there be that one got me, man. It's like,
well, you're in a weekend state anyway.
Oh yeah,
you know, you're not eating. Your boys moved away.
Yeah, he's off to college. My son, who's been at college now, East Carolina University for 8 days. On Saturday night, he went out with friends, really for the first time. They went out.
Good.
He said, we're going to this place, blah, blah. I said, look, be safe and have fun, whatever.
Make good choices.
At some point, you turn them loose, and there they go, right? The place opens at 10. He goes, well, it doesn't open until 10. I said, at night? What? I mean, what kind of place doesn't open till 10?
That's college, baby.
He said, hey, it's college.
Yeah.
It's open. It opens at 10. I said, fine. The next day, I woke up and checked him on my device that allows me to see where he is. He was back in the dorm room, thank the Lord, but had been there since like 2:33 a.m. And I said to my wife, you see he got in at 2:33? She said, it doesn't open till 10. What are you supposed to do? Anyway, we talked to him yesterday. This is the day after he went out for the first time, really went out in college. And he said, I just had the best time I've ever had in my life. And
the time of his life.
He said, literally, I said, how was last night? He said, it was only the greatest night, the best night I've ever had in my life.
I'll see you on fall break and not before.
And
I
said, I've paid to take you to Disney World twice and put you on a cruise, too. He goes, that was the best night of my life. And I said, okay, say no more about that. I don't even know. But apparently he has made connections with friends and so forth, and it's all falling into place for him.
Well, that's what you want, right? You don't want him sitting in the dorm room crying.
Look at that face, Biggie. Do you think Kelly wants that? Look at that puss.
I mean, you don't want him weekend one, tearing up at sitting in the dorm room. I'm all alone. I'm sad.
FaceTiming mom.
Yeah, asking what you guys are doing.
Take out the FaceTiming is what I was doing. I was on the phone with mom. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can I get home? Can I come home? No, he's falling right into it.
Come get me, mama.
Well,
Mama, please come get me.
He always had something about him. We've known that since he started high school, that people just gravitate towards him because he's funny. They like him.
I know.
So I think he's not going to have any problem at all.
He's real. He's in the moment. He's present. Right. He's everything. Some people aren't.
It's funny. I just read.
He's got the Riz.
He's got that Riz. He's got the Riz. I just read a colleague in this business. I was up on my conversation boards today, the message boards, looking. I always like to get a last-minute piece of advice. And a well-known colleague from Houston said, here are 13 things to do to make your show great every day. Number 1, be real. I was like, I'm out. I'm not reading anymore.
Next, what's number 2?
Be real.
13.
13 things to do every single day to make your show great. And I looked at him and I was like, 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 0 for 3. Nope, can't do it. Here's the point. I'm standing there next to a pickleball court with my friend, the Diesel, who had just told me a very difficult story about his own life. And boom, text comes in. We've lost Bob Barker. Plus, we were just being obliterated on the pickleball court every which way. Played Moneyball, and we're not going to win Moneyball. And they just killed us. That's when you can actually win money. I mean, that's where the big guns come out. And Diesel said, I think we're up to the challenge. Suffice to say, we
were not.
Okay.
I think we got it this year. Really?
We did not. We were not up to the challenge. And for the first time ever, I nearly called over a court monitor because I didn't like the way some officiating was going on in this tournament. Now, I'm all over the place here. I understand that.
And, are there actual officials, third-party officials?
No. No, there are not. So,
so your beef was with your opponent?
Is somebody's wife just the quote-unquote monitor?
Yes. Oh, here's what happens.
She doesn't want to stay at home, so she comes, but it's not really where she wants to be either. So they give her a job.
you play. Now, this is Moneyball. We're playing Moneyball.
This is an actual tournament.
Yes, this is an actual tournament. We paid money for it. And if you win some prize money. This is a rarity for us. I said, this is
It almost sounds illegal.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Everybody puts in and you win a prize. I mean, you win money called Moneyball. And I said to Diesel, this is where the really big talent comes out. And he said, we're up for it. Now, it was an early exit for us. Let me just say that.
I should have just handed him $5.
Oh, 50 each. I mean, everybody pays $50, a bunch of teams. Each player pays 50, and then the winner gets take all,
Where do you think we went wrong when we agreed to do this?
I think when I learned how to use Venmo is where I really went wrong. But we played. Now, the way the game is played is your opponent calls in or out.
If it's on your side of the net, you make the call.
Of course, you make the call. And we played a couple of gentlemen in the we had gone through what's called pool play. You familiar with how the World Cup works and so forth? Had a few friendlies. Didn't win a single one of them.
Makes it tougher when you're in the actual...
When you get into then the draw, elimination round, it makes it tougher. But we faced a group. I don't know how we got to this team. We'd already lost to them once, but I was like, all right, we can handle them. Was in that particular match that we had lost earlier. I thought we've
learned some things.
We've learned some things. We know a little bit about them, and we got into it. It was a best of 3, and they started calling some that I was like, that ball's in. I know a lot of times. I know when I hit it whether it's in or out. I mean, I can almost always tell if it's in or out.
Are these guys you were playing? Are they regulars that you know, or are they kind of from?
Out of
town? Are they interlopers that come? Yeah, so there you go.
Charlotte.
So they're going to try to...
interlopers.
Smelled the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Came up...
All the way from the Queen City, they smelled it.
And they're going to test you.
Yeah. Came up for Moneyball and called a few of them. And I looked at these. This is in game 1. They had 2 or 3 calls. Then I said, oh, no. And Diesel's like, you're right. They are really...
Were you just muttering these?
Oh, yeah. That's all I ever do is mutter. Because you can't say anything. You remember
can't challenge.
Yeah. You remember the dust up we had with the Blumenthals, old man Blumenthal. Do you recall? I told you about this.
I'm sure you did.
Remember I told you about this?
How recent?
Yeah.
December of last year.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
If you would have said, guys, I don't know about that one, were they the type they give off the air of getting in your face like, okay.
They were
chesty.
They were chesty. That's a great word for them. They're very chesty, very confident.
Yeah.
And bullied me into calling one in that I thought was out. Bullied me into.
Guys, that was out.
Man.
Was it?
Right.
Where was it out? Point at it.
Well, listen. Several months ago, we were playing the Blumenthals over here in a smaller tournament over the Candy Cane Classic. Okay. And old man Blumenthal called one out that Diesel thought was in. Now, I also thought it was out. Diesel hit it, and it was like within an inch. And it was Blumenthal's call, and he goes, out. And Diesel said, oh, no. That's all over the line. And Diesel looked at me, and I said, I said what I always say. I didn't see it.
I was taking a sip of my drink. What? It's the middle of the match. What?
So Blumenthal goes, no, that was out. And Diesel said, oh, no, that was right on the line. Blumenthal said, what's my call? And Diesel said, well, you made the wrong call. He goes, oh, it's my call, and I saw it out. And then from then on, it was tense between us. Okay? So now, fast forward to this weekend, and these guys are squeezing us big time. They just are. And
anything close, they're calling out.
Yes. And I turned to the Diesel, and I knew a few of them were in. I mean, I knew it. And I said to him, I'm going to ask for a court monitor. Now, what you can do is go to the officials and say, I'd like a court monitor, please.
It's me. It's me.
I'd like a court monitor, if at all possible.
Which is kind of a slap at the other team because it's basically saying,
yes,
I don't trust you at all.
That's correct. And Diesel said, I want to urge you not to do that.
Did he mutter this to you?
He did. We were muttering.
Behind your paddles.
We were the mutter sisters.
These guys seem real fighty. Like they will fight us later.
They were.
One of them's got a gun. I just know it.
Diesel. So I said, I'm going to call Ms. McGillicuddy, who's up there.
Monitoring this and that.
Well, she was checking people in, but she's court monitor. And I said, I'm going to get her down here because I don't like the way this is going. And Diesel said, I want to urge you very strongly, in no uncertain terms, not to
Once you cross that line.
You cannot uncross. But they killed us, and it was in my head because they screwed us over on some points. And I
Did they beat you in a close match?
No.
Well, the close calls have made a difference.
I'll tell you that here it was best of 3. We won the first game easily, surprisingly, because they had already beaten us in pool play. But we won. In the second game, they started really ratcheting up the poor calls, and they beat us easily in games 2 and 3. And Diesel said, "You got to get that out of your head. And he was right, but that's not what I do. Things stay in my head. They're still in my head today. It's in my head. Things stay in my head. You all know that about me. I was thinking something. I can't even remember what it was, but it's been in my head for like 15 years. Dave and I are at odds right now. Okay, Dave and I are at odds. Okay." Right after we got beat in this match, here comes the text. We've lost Bob Barker. Okay. Which, that hurt. I'm a huge... I feel about Bob Barker the way I felt about Betty White. You just always know they're there. They haven't seen him in a long time, but they're there. And wasn't Bob Barker, within a year ago, it was seen a photo of him taking his mobile toter to the end of the driveway.
I think you're right. That's right.
Yeah. And it was like, okay, he looks pretty spry, even though he was 98 or 90. And he died at 99. And there's a meme going around, leave it to Bob Barker to get as close as he could to 100 without going over. And I think that's got some great humor to it.
That's the meme of the weekend.
Well played.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Whoever came up with that is like, that is great.
I've never seen something spread so quickly, too. In fact, I saw somebody post last night. We've all seen it now. Yeah, Stop sending it.
Even I saw it. Even
that's how you know.
I never see anything.
Yeah.
And even I saw it, So we lose Bob Barker. I'm really down. It's just been a heck of a bad.
You're out of your favorite game show host.
Exactly.
Out 50.
I'm out 50. I'm watching these guys move on to the next round. They bullied me into a call. Guy hit one. I was about to call out. He goes, "That's the end. Don't even think about it." I was like, okay.
Ooh.
I mean, really?
Man. This is what the Capitol's like. You guys are the old Republicans. They're the new MAGA Republicans, just bullying you.
That's right.
There's more old Republicans, but you're scared of them.
Yeah.
Are you saying Kelly's like Mitch McConnell?
I'm Mitch McConnell.
And they're that Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever in your face.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I want to vote for that bill. Or you're going to vote for that bill. Okay, I guess I will. Okay. Just do it. She has a gun.
I just pray that these Charlotte interlopers did not win everybody's cash.
No, they finished in the top.
Out of the
3.
money?
No, they were in the money, but they finished 3rd. But there was one team that was really. We never even got to play them. They were so good. It's like we're not going to mess with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We knew him. We watched him as if we were going to play him during some downtime. I was like, let's see what he does. And then it never even came to fruition. And we could have beaten these guys. We really could have. And the bad calls, honestly, probably didn't make a difference, but it got right here between my ears. That's my problem.
Well, I hope you and the Diesel broke it down afterwards in your car like you do.
For hours.
Your film session.
We sat for hours and talked about this.
We're going to get something to eat. No, losers don't eat.
We just sat there. That's right. In fact, when it was over, after we were done, there was a ice bucket filled with ice water. And I went over to get it, and one of the court monitors said, "Sorry, medal winners only." So I was not allowed to have. These are for
waters for closers.
Finalists.
You can drink out of that hose over there. Get one of those brain-eating amoebas.
Sorry. That's right. I might as well have had a brain-eating amoeba. That's between my ears is mush.
It couldn't hurt.
It's mush. Couldn't hurt.
Because the current brain situation is not working.
You know what? The amoeba would get in there and says, "No brain here to eat." I'm just going to crawl out of his ear.
I'm going to move on.
This guy's a mess. I'm a single-celled structure.
That's right. Chris, we are going so far. Well, here's why Dave and I are at odds. We're at odds now. Because shortly after all this was taking place, Chris Demm put out the question. Okay. Game show host Mount Rushmore. What's the Mount Rushmore of game show host? Now, I'm salty about this because Dave and I, I'll just say this, we disagree on one. There's one I think should be on.
One, the two of you just keep batting back and forth.
Yes, he is. No, he isn't. You all think about it. We'll reveal it when Dave gets here.
Okay.
You all think
he can
about
make his case.
He can make his case, and I'll make mine. I think this person should be on the Mount Rushmore. And Dave said, "You're out of your mind. This guy's not even close." There's a couple. I mean, Barker's one. Gotta be there.
Of course.
Chiseling.
Yeah, I mean, first ballot Hall of Famer. We have we're going to play a lot of Bob Barker audio today. Just deal with it. We're just doing it. All right, we're doing it. Okay, but there's one we have. Parents trying to get their kids to school on the opening day, and their favorite DJs crying about Bob Barker.
It is the first day of school for many today.
For many.
Yes, it is. Well, we're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about Bob Barker's legacy on this program. I've seen this before. I don't know that we've ever aired it. It's long. It's longer. I edited it down, but there's a contestant on The Price is Right with Bob Barker, and he is so good as a game show host. He almost never gets flustered, but this woman plays this game so poorly. She's got 5 numbers in front of her and a car that costs a 5-digit amount. And she has
the price is scrambled.
The price is all scrambled up. So she has to use all 5 numbers one time to make the price of the car. And she has like several guesses at it.
Yeah, I think the better you do in the early game,
yes,
the more tries you get.
Because what'll happen is they'll start with something that has 3 numbers in it, and you have to get those right, and then you move on to the next. You know, but the time you get to the 5-digit car price, you have 5 numbers to put in the right order, but you must use each number once. Well, Joy is trying this. And she keeps scribbling down, but she won't use...
I don't know that she ever quite got the concept of the game.
I don't think she understands the game.
Using all 5 numbers, write down the price of that automobile. Go. Come on, Joy. Right, Joy. 19,000 watt. 19,000 watt, Joy.
So they're all screaming at her, and she's got 19...
She's just staring at her friends.
And it takes forever, and they've got to move on.
19, you can use the 1 twice. You can't do that. 5 numbers. You've written 1930. No, Joy. Now, come on. Let's go.
Okay. That's the great Bob Barker right there. We've got to move on. You've used the 1.
Joy.
She keeps on using the same number twice. There's 1. She can only use it 1 time.
You're going to lose your turn if you don't write. Now, you've used the 1 here twice. You've used the 1 twice, Joy. Look, right down here. What do you want to write? You want to write 19,000? Write it down.
Let me write it for you, Joy. Let me just play this game.
That's probably not allowed.
No, he can't.
He cannot put pen to paper.
What do you want to write? What do you want to write, Joy?
Write it down. 19,000. Now you have the 3, you have the 2, and you have the 0 left. $320. And
no, Joy. No.
She's running out of time.
She has 1
and guesses.
She has 1 guess left.
Joy.
Now this is an edit. This took 5 minutes to play out. You know, Joy, you've used the 1 twice. Joy. He's just desperately trying to help her.
1 more chance. 1 more chance. Go ahead. 9, 0. No, you won.
She got it. Now
all that.
Finally, he just sits down. He's like, I cannot believe.
Right there on the set.
Right on the set. He's like, I cannot believe. Because Chris Demm is right. She doesn't understand how to play the game.
I still don't think she understands it.
She just happens to put 5 numbers in the right order. She doesn't even know she was guessing the price of the car. I guarantee they kept yelling at her.
Never. We'll be back after these words.
He kept mouthing. You can't hear me. He's like, I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe she won that.
Joy, I think as much as anyone, turned his hair white.
Agreed.
Like in 1 day.
Totally agreed. Because it was a 1 day. It was Joy. Joy.
Did that. Come on, Joy.
She did that to him. And I'll tell you, here's the greatness of Bob Barker. That's a nice little moment there. He helps her out. She wins the car. He plays it up.
She wins.
Right.
He's on.
Yes.
And he's in perfect Bob Barker mode.
Perfect. He had the perfect tenor for that show. Now, I am unbelievably angry that this woman won a car because she doesn't understand the
game. You would have knocked over the set.
Oh.
I would have said, Joy, leave my set.
Immediately.
Give me the magic marker, Joy. Joy.
Beat it.
I need your marker, Joy.
Get off my stage, Joy. We're not giving you
You don't get the Ford Escort.
You don't get the car. That's right. That would make me so unbelievably angry. He turned it into a moment of levity and joy and gave her the car. What would I say? Get off my stage. We are not.
You
there.
lose.
You lose.
You
are
get
not. You
nothing,
are getting
Joy.
nothing. You're getting nothing. We are going all in on the life and times of Bob Barker today. We are talking about the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts. Get your thoughts ready. There's a lot. There's a lot of good ones. They're out there for sure. But there are two we think have to be cemented on there. Now, Dave's coming in later, and we'll talk. But he and I are at odds over one.
Big time.
That I think I hated to turn that ugly. It got ugly via our text machine.
Big time.
Really, in the right aftermath of Bob Barker passing, too. He wouldn't have wanted that, I'm sure, but that's where we are.